Okay, so now let's start the Kubernetes cluster from the scratch and see how the interface is created in the Kubernetes cluster network. So here, this is my Kubernetes cluster load. I have not started the Kubernetes cluster services yet. So as you can see here, I have 4 interfaces. This is my management interface, 10.3 subnet. This is my cluster node interface I'm going to use. I will use this IP address for my master node. This Docker bridge interface is I already started the Docker process that comes from the CentOS. So I installed the Docker package and it's started already. But here we focus on how to start the Kubernetes cluster and see what new interface gotta be added after starting up the Kubernetes. Okay, so I have 2 windows here, the same on the master node. So I'm going to start my so I modified my cluster master bash script a little bit to make it more portable. So like if you want to run this Kubernetes cluster image, you can just specify your master node IP, and the dash capital O is to run the already compiled Kubernetes binary. So I'm going to start up the Kubernetes cluster master node, and let's see what interfaces it's going to add. Okay, here we enter, starting up. Okay, started okay. So now let's run this command again to see what interface and IP address added. Show. Okay, we have the the 4 interface here originally. Now there's a 5 and a 6 interface added. And so what is 5 and 6? So 5 and 6 is I run my Kubernetes in Kubi proxy in IPVS mode, which is using the Linux virtual server instead of IP table. So the IPVS module will create these 2 interfaces for cluster services. So this is a dummy, a local interface for the cluster services. As you can see, it has a IP 10.0.0.1 /32, and so if we run IPVS administrative utility, it will show you the cluster services it is started. the Kubernetes started. So IPVS add ADM admin command to list the IP virtual server services. As you can see here, we have virtual IP listener here. The listener IP is the same as this IP address. The port is 443, and this is the pool member for this virtual listener. This is, as you noticed, this is my node IP. This is the Kube API server listening port 6443, and this masquerade mode is IP virtual server listening mode. Basically, it's going to do destination address translation, DNAT. So yeah, so if I telnet this cluster services, yeah, so as you can see, I get a prompt collected. So yeah, okay, so when I started the Kubernetes cluster services, two dummy interfaces are created.